The topic here is the u-substitution for integrals. So let's look at the definition. Definition says integral of sine of u du is negative cosine of u plus c. So to do this integral, just common sense, you want the u, whatever is between parentheses, to be equal u. We do an integral of sine of x to the negative 3 over x to the 4 dx. So what does that mean? That's the only option we have anyway. So we want u to be equal x to the negative 3, which means du is equal, derivative will be negative 3x, negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4, don't forget the dx, and like always we solve for the dx, and the dx is equal du over negative 3x negative 4. Now we always, just like previous examples, we always need the dx and the u. So let's replace it, see what happens. This will be equal to, this integral will be equal to sine of u over x to the 4th, and the dx is du over negative x negative 4. Now let's see if we can simplify this further. Yes, you can multiply. These are just fractions, so this is going to be equal sine of u du over negative 3 x4 times x negative 4. But x4 times x negative 4 is just 1, so this is going to be integral of sine of u du over negative 3. Now I can, remember that's 1 over negative 3, you can take it outside, so that will be equal negative 1 over 3 integral of sine of u du, and then use the definition. Definition says that's equal negative cosine of u plus c, so that would be negative 1 3 cosine, negative cosine of u plus some constant. So this will be equal to negative times negative is positive, so 1 over 3 cosine of u plus some constants. Okay, what constant? Even if you multiply constant by negative 1/3, it's still a constant. So plus a c. Alright, so for number 11, again, we need to evaluate the integral of sine x, sine of cosine x dx. Again, one option, that's the only option we have. We want to let this to be equal to u. Why? Because just look at it. What's the derivative of a cosine? Derivative of a cosine is negative sine. So we can get, if we let that equal to u, we can get the du from the sine. So let's see what I'm talking about. So let u equal cosine of x. So this means that the du is equal, derivative of a cosine is negative sine, so negative sine x dx. So my dx happens to be du over negative sine x. So like previous examples, we always need the dx and du to replace in the integrals. So this integral will be equal sine x times, by the way, there's a multiplication here, right? So sine x times sine of u, so I replace cosine x by u, I use the first one, and then I replace dx by du over minus sine x. Now here, since this is a multiplication, we can simplify sine x and take the negative 1 outside. Take a negative 1 outside, you get negative integral of sine of u du, which is using the definition of integral of sine u. Integral of sine u is minus cosine u plus c. So this is going to be equal cosine of u plus c plus some constant, and then replace a u by a cosine. So this will be cosine of the cosine of x plus c. So it's a cosine of the cosine. This is not a multiplication, this is cosine of. So your angle happens to be cosine of x. And that's it for these examples.